motivational speech. Leadership. It's not just that you're a technical person, that you're a leader, that there are a lot of other factors that makes you a successful person. This is where I see that a lot of people who are successful on the outward when you see in society, but personally they are not. So you have to have a rounded experience. Now he talked about marriage. Now you will say, why talk about marriage and family when you are talking about leadership? You see, your family, your wife or your spouse is a supporter. And if you have a successful marriage, your outlook on life is different. If you are not bitter, you are not unhappy, when you come out, you have a different outlook. You are more empathic. Okay, you are more understanding and you can see. So sometimes you might be a successful boss, but all might hate you. This can happen because I'm qualified, I do a lot of things, and I bring profits, the company loves it, but people around you might not be. So this is the type of leaders you have to be. Every one of us are leaders in our own way, because in our families we can be a leader. We might not be the leader in the company, but we might be the leader in a division, in a group, in a department. So we are all leaders, as Nirmalan pointed out. So let me now introduce Farill Farook. He is the author, Discover the Winner of You. He's a coach, motivational speaker, business psychologist. He is the winner of the 10 Outstanding Young Persons Award in 2017. His passion and motto is to help others to discover themselves, to reach peak performances. Finally, he is the COO of a digital marketing company. So let's listen to him and let's give him a warm welcome.
Okay, thank you so much, Lai.
Thank you.
Good morning to all. I'm a strong believer of quality more than quantity. So, though there's a small room, I always will let's get the maximum out of it. I'd like to start by sharing a story which happened in 2007. I was in USA working in a place called Calabasas. Calabasas is one of the most richest communities in LA. It's very close to LA, Hollywood. So, the average GDP per person there is $16,000. So it's a rich community. Will Smith has a house there, all the celebrities. So I was working in a station. There was a convenience store as well as a station. So as usual, it was a Saturday morning. I joined and it was the first month. So unlike in Sri Lanka, in US, the individuals have to pump their own gas. So it was a Sunday morning, afternoon, and this place where everybody knows each other. So this lady comes in a convertible BMW. She comes as usual, pumps the gas, but this time she forgot to remove the pump and she started the vehicle and took off. The whole pump nozzle broke down. I was the only guy there, and I have been told no matter who breaks the pump, you have to charge $300. But the community knows each other very well. In this, it was in the top of a mountain. So if you were in so I actually came rushing towards to see what happened. So no, I just asked, as I went there, this lady came all over onto me and said, I'm a doctor. I'm not just a doctor, I'm an epidemic doctor, epidural doctor. I didn't know what that means. I got to know it's the doctor who put the injection to the spine during pregnancy and other times. So she was saying, I have not slept for 3 days, I've been very tired, I have more pressure than a normal doctor, going on and on and not addressing the problem. But in between, I heard she was saying, I will come, I know your owners very well, I will come and solve the problem. In psychology, what we call this is what we call denial. She's not focused on the problem, but few keywords, she said, I know your owner, I know Sam, I know the people very well. Now, if you were in my position, what would you have done? Would you have charged the $300? Would you have let her go? or would you have done something based on the situation? What if you were in my? How many would have charged the $300? How many would have let her go? How many would have done something else based on the situation? Anything? What comes to your mind?
So she mentioned that she knows the owner, right? So it's definitely we can actually and then figure out how to repeat it.
Spot on. Yeah. In fact, that's what I simply did. She mentioned the owner's name, so I quickly went to the manager, Sam, who became my best friend later. I told Sam, there's this lady who says that she knows you very well, and he asked, is this the lady? Is her name Christine, the BMW car? And he said, no problem, tell her to come on Monday. She actually didn't come for the next 1 month to the station, but she sent the money. So leadership, what I mean is, comes in different forms. Why I tell these examples is, it is all to do with situational leadership. Because ultimately, if you cannot be, your leadership will be tested during unexpected moments. Situational leadership. Sometimes you might get it right, sometimes you will get it wrong. It doesn't matter. It is the process that is matter. So what I say, the best of individuals are being tested during adversity or challenge. So if you are right now under pressure, you are under adversity, embrace that challenge. Embrace that process. Because this is the process that will evolve you as a leader. If not, you are going to be replaced. It is already happening. Now, who is replacing humans' jobs? Every day, every minute. I would say every second also. Robots. It used to be machines, then it became robots. Today, one level higher, which is artificial intelligence. Have you heard what is the new form? The word AI. What's the simple difference between men and robots or AI? What does human have that robots don't have?
Emotion. I think we analyze.
Emotions. Exactly.
Emotions.
But today what they're trying to do is they're trying to make the robot also with emotions. Until this time there was only technology. Robots had the mind, 10 times of a human. But today they're trying to bring the heart also to the robot. So down the line there will be a creative disruption that will happen rapidly in every industry. From the saloon, from the fashion, from the technology, to even my industry, to even cooking, it's already rapidly changing. So here are a few examples. Now, currently we see in call centers, sometimes we talk to people, we don't know. The other side, it could be a robot, it could be a technology. Many fashion stores have they use technology plus humans, where you can talk to a robot and get feedback. Now, this is a program robot in, I think, Sweden. It has been programmed with specific keywords. It will identify the specific keywords and, reply you back. That is only the mind. Now, even today, how many of you find it more convenient to go to a bank? Sometimes we go to a bank during the daytime. We park the vehicle, hot sun, we come to the bank, we have to stay behind the queue and filling forms, and when you go there, they say, no, this is a wrong form, and the process is very tiring. To me, if you ask, it is more convenient to go to the bank 24 hours and either use the ATM, and also today you get the CDS. You can also take money as well as you can deposit money. Sometimes the call center executive itself tells us, go and use the machine, unknowing that the future there's a disruption happening. So if you ask me, dealing with humans or dealing with technology, to a certain extent, for me, technology is easier. So the disruption is taking place. So have you met Sophia? Sophia is a tested robot, who we call artificial intelligence, in Saudi Arabia. Just Google and see. They have gone to the extent of giving Sophia citizenship in Saudi, a few countries. I saw an interview where the moderator talks to Sophia along with the person who created, and the moderator is finding it difficult. Because when she asks Sophia, how was your day? Sophia talks like a real human, telling that, I had a good day. Last night I was at Starbucks, we had this. No different to a human. So this is the early stage which we will see a lot of disruption. In fact, I saw last week a video. Did you see about, I don't know whether it's related to the coronavirus, in Korea or China, they are cutting the hair using a robot, a long machine, and he's cutting the hair using the face mask. So maybe a testing model or maybe a situational model. So this is the time we are in. So with all these disruptions taking place, who will survive in an organization? What type of individual will survive in an organization when there is so much of tension, so much of challenges?
A person who changes with time.
A person who changes, a person who evolves, or who I call a superstar in an organization.
Superstar.
A superstar. Now in the cricket field, who are superstars? In the Sri Lankan cricket team, who do you see as a superstar?
Hasaranga.
Hasaranga, upcoming superstar. Yes, I saw Mikiyata was saying he's
Very
one of the
upcoming.
top player. Yes, good player to study. Who are the other superstars? Current time frame? Superstars, who do you see? Let's make this an interactive session now.
Sangakkara.
Sangakkara. Why is Sangakkara seen as a superstar? He's not even playing cricket. Still, brands are going after him. Why is that? He has a personality. So it's very key to remember, while you are good at your job, good at your domain skill, you have to invest in your personality. I know Kumar Sangakkara basically transformed himself. Many people say the Kumar Sangakkara we saw in school is not the person we see today. He invests on his public speaking. Somebody asked Kumar, what is your least favorable skill, or what do you least like doing? He said, I hate going for cocktails because it is a lot to do with small talk. He said, I had no choice. So I had to invest. I did a lot of speaking. I had to nurture that skill. The process, he knew the process of evolving a skill. So in Bollywood, who would we call a superstar? The Bollywood industry. Salman Khan, Shah Rukh Khan, key brands. I would say a person, if you're 5 years in an industry, and if you're number one in that, you have something special. If you're 10 years and you're still number one, you have built a craft. If you're 20 years and you're still number one, you have something beyond. You have basically owned that brand. Now Shah Rukh Khan has been almost 30 years. He's still number one in the brand. He's still one of the top brands. So he's very conscious about his personality on and off the game. Same with Kumar Sangakkara. So we will see how we also can tap into our inner strength, personality. So let's see how we can go forward. So a superstar, I would say, in an organization is a person who invests 10 times more than what they are being paid. For example, you'll be paying this amount, the performance should be 10 times higher. That will make you a superstar. To achieve superstar, it doesn't matter what technology comes, what challenges, you will be valued. There are going to be many disruptions. I think receptionist jobs are going to be removed. Customer service already we see. What are the other? Postman. We see less and less postmen. In the past, the pager used to be one of the dynamic technology. I remember I had an uncle who was a blood doctor. While having meals, he get tick tick, and it was like a luxury for us. He says he has to go and open his fridge. He has a blood sample. He takes it, and it was even the gadol bar. So it evolves. Things change. So every industry will be tapped as we go ahead. So we say the third one is individuals who are present at each and every moment. So they have the leadership mindset. One of the key attributes is to have your leadership mindset is to set your energy level. You always are in control of your energy. Have you seen this team? What do they do at the beginning before the
All Blacks?
The All Blacks? The haka. Why do they do the haka? What's the reason? It's a tribe dance.
To set the tone.
To set the tone, almost there. To set the tone. Have you seen that dance? They put their tongue out, they jump, very
They
light.
no?
You get that?
fire in them.
Get the, unleash the fire, basically tap into that energy. Because they know the more you can release your energy, more you can tap into your top performance. It's very intimidating to the opponent. This is the power of having that energy. So the more you are conscious of your energy, the better it is. So how many of you are in control of your energy? Can you test? Can I request all of you to stand? Let's release some energy. Now most of us have a lot of energy. When we start our day, the energy is dropping down. But the more you are in control of your energy, the better it is. So what we can do is every day, make sure you are conscious. We breathe, but we are not consciously breathing. So the more you are consciously breathing, the more you control energy. So can you take a deep breath and hold the breath while closing your mouth. Okay? Take a deep breath but hold it and exhale it internally. Like you are blowing the balloon out. This time you blow it in. Okay? I'll do it, you can follow me. And release the energy. Release it to your stomach. Send it out. Take a deep breath. See how long you can hold the breath. Close your eyes, Brian. Try to send that breath to the back of your spine. To the bottom of your leg. Okay, release. One more. Now try to send the breath to the top of your head. Blow your face. Don't worry who is looking at you. You're making a fool of yourself. That's a good thing. One more. So the more you are conscious of your breath, you can do this every day 10 seconds. In the morning and the afternoon, you will see a big difference not only to your physical health, your energy, as well as your overall personality. You will see the vibrance in you. So, the more you can close your eyes and release the energy, the better. Okay, one more step. Okay, we have a lot of energy in our body. So what we can do is let's do a little stretching. Left. Every day do this in the morning. If you can do the breathing now while moving. Okay, one from the side, now this side. Most of our energy is trapped here. Can we try this? Shift. Okay, keep going. More you can do, the better it is. Other side. Good. Okay, last one. This. They say the wellness industry is going to be a 3 billion industry. Okay, other side. One more. You have to feel the pinch here. Okay, one more. Very good. Last one. Full stretch. Full stretch. Good. Okay. Keep the energy going. Okay, thank you. Super. I feel most people's energy are like a flat tire. Now who controls one's energy? Yourself. But when you observe people early in the morning where your energy should be at its highest, our energy is at its lowest. But the strangest part is we control our energy. It's like a button of a switch. In the morning when you get up, smile and say, I'm going to have a good day. That motivation should come within. It's a mental switch. So the more you release your energy, the more you can manage. The name of the game is managing your emotions. Again, controlled by us. The more you know of your emotions, the better you become as a leader, as a manager, as a human being. Okay? So I think we had a good session. I remember who shared a lot of insights about leading yourself, understanding the simple side of life. You know, if I spend 1 hour speaking to Nirmalan, I can learn so much of wisdom, and I enjoy speaking to him. So let's introduce ourselves and see how we can go forward. Let me start, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Farill Farook. You can call me Farill. I studied at Royal College, and I work as a CEO at a leading digital marketing company. My hobbies are travel, playing badminton, cricket, reading, and also trying new culinary. My ambition in life is to be a top speaker and a top author. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Can we quickly get you in
My name is Pasan Gonakumra. You can call me Pasan. I work at Attune Consulting. My hobbies are reading, music, playing any musical instrument. My ambition in life is to basically earn so much money that I don't have to work.
Okay, super.
Thank you.
Good. Next. The more you share, the more you'll connect with people.
Hi all, my name is Sandu Pereira. You can call me Sandu. I work at Attune Consulting, and my hobbies are watching cricket matches and playing games and going traveling. Ambition in life is to be an architect in the industry. That's all.
Good. Okay. Next.
Hi, my name is Taridu Bikamasuri. You can call me Taridu. I work at Attune as well, and my hobbies are developing video games and pretty much playing video games. So my ambition in life is to pretty much become the best at what I do.
Good. Okay.
Super.
I'm Anjali Vikramarachi. You can call me Anjali. And I also work at Attune Consulting. And my hobbies are reading, watching movies, and traveling. And my ambition in life is to be happy and content with myself.
Okay.
Always.
Good.
Hi, my name is Al. You can call me Al. I work at Attune Consulting. My hobbies are playing badminton and playing games. My ambition is to become a technical
Technical
architect.
architect. Okay. Right.
I'm Sun Lai Yong. I got a Chinese name. You can call me Lai. I work at KPMG. I did the China investment desk. My hobbies, I like agriculture. I like to cook. I like to ride Vespa scooters around the country, and a lot more things. My ambition is to build a resort and operate it.
Nice.
My name is Sega Nagendra, you can call me Sega. I'm the Senior Director of Carson Combustion Company, in charge of KLM Broadband Airlines, Garuda Airlines, and Northwest Airlines. I'm now retired, but I'm still director of about 10 companies. My hobbies are reading and traveling. My ambition in life after retirement is now to do social work, and I'm trustees of the 2 largest Hindu temples in Colombo.
Thank you. Glad to have you here. Vikas?
Hi, I'm Yahya Rikas. You can call me Yahya. I work at Direct TV. Right now, I'm doing my own business, doing a advertising agency. My hobbies are jogging and watching movies, and my life ambition is to be an entrepreneur.
Good. Okay. How many is brand ambassadors? Yes.
My name is Vasana. You can call me Vasana, and I work at Ramani Fernando Salon Cinnamon Brand. And my hobby is listening to music, and my ambition is in my life to be a good hairdresser.
Okay.
I'm Maheshi. You can call me Maheshi. I'm working in Ramani Fernando Salon Kobola. My hobbies is watching the TV and listening to music. My ambition is good manager and a hairdresser.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, you know all about me. I forgot one very important thing she told me today. To be content. That's the secret of success. I forgot to add it in my presentation. Don't forget. You have to be happy with what you have.
Spot on. Thank you very much. So in this little bit of exercise, we got to know a broader side of each and every individual. So sometimes you'll be surprised. I know sometimes big corporations, HR marketing has been working there for 10 years. They say they know each other, but they really don't know. They really don't know. So small exercise, he says he plays badminton, I play badminton. Immediately we find a connection. He says my passion is to work in the airline industry, or you immediately connect. The connection happens so fast. So the key to communication, the more you share. So in this exercise, now most people, when we ask what is their ambition, most people say, start a company, become an entrepreneur, become successful, start my own business, or become a consultant. The key to remember is the challenge. What most people have is their vision is correct, but they start their vision only once they get to that position. So the key to remember is, if you want to become successful, you want to be the top management, if you want to be the top in your brand, start investing right now. Plant that seed. And every day, for 1 hour or 10 minutes even, invest on that craft. It can be direct to your job, or it can be something, it can be your passionate area. But you have to make sure to invest at least a few minutes, a few hours would be better on that niche, so that gradually you will develop into that craft. So the more you can invest time, spare that moment, you will see the evolvement coming, right? Now, how many of you have been to Singapore? Yes. Right, so others put Singapore as your goal for the next 1 year. A good time to travel right now, actually. A lot of good, hot deals in town. Maybe next 24 months. Make it a goal, because once you set your mind, it will happen. Now, Singapore, it is considered today as the #1 passport in the world. But back 30-40 years, it used to be below Sri Lanka, underdeveloped. In fact, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, when he came to Sri Lanka, he said, I like the Sri Lankan model. He had gone to he liked the greenery. He had apparently gone to the Bambalapitiya flats. And he said, I like that concept, very spacious apartments. There's a play area. And he said, I want to replicate the same model in Singapore. So he took this idea, went to Singapore, and put it to the parliament, got it approved. He said he developed the roads, he put the infrastructure, got factories. But his biggest challenge was, if this is Gaul Road, there were so many people. Unlike in Sri Lanka, Singapore was in a worse situation. You had all ethnicities. You had the Chinese, you had the Malays, you had the Indians, you had the Singaporeans. All will say, if this is Gaul Road, like small houses, every 10 to 20 houses just had one toilet, and not a luxury toilet, these pit toilets. So what he did was, he expanded the road and got these people to come and live in the city. And he put up apartments, studio apartments, and gave them 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom apartments. So they were very happy. Now luxury, there is lift, there is amenities, rooms, little spacious. But first month they're happy, second month they're happy, third month they went back to their old habits. They're eating something, they throw it. They don't roast they litter everywhere. They don't maintain their house. They went back to their old habits. So much so, at one point, they didn't even flush their toilet. They used the toilet, they don't flush the toilet. And it became a problem. Then it went to the parliament. And it came to Mr. Lee Kuan Yew's notice. And he was so annoyed, he wrote back to the parents saying that, what's going on? They wrote back saying, we were living in a spacious place, you come and put us in a small place, and now, what Lee Kuan Yew did was, he created a small technology where if you do not flush the toilet, the lift doesn't work, or the electricity gets disrupted. And they were annoyed now. Because they wrote back, said, what is this? You bring us from the big houses for them to this small, tiny apartment, and now you're teaching us how to, flush the toilet. He wrote back saying that, I have got fed up of your generation. You've been complaining. Do me one thing. change the next generation. For your next generation, your children, teach them good values. Teach them good, habits. Teach them the little things. If somebody opens the door, say thank you. If you throw the dirt, you have to pick it up. And I will put in the discipline. And he said this start was the transformation to changing Singapore. He said putting up buildings was easy. Changing people's minds was the challenge. And it took him 10 years to start this journey. So today's objective is let's flush our mind and see how we can reach a higher level. Can do? Can do. Okay, great. So the key to remember is, now most people talk about changing attitudes. Most people, have you heard this theory, the ask theory? The more you're aware of your three, this triangle, now most people start their career with knowledge, with their domain skill. From junior level to go to mid-level, I would say it is your skills that is necessary in the ask model. Your communication skills, your interpersonal skills, your emotional intelligence, your networking. And most people can achieve up to this point. Now what is the skill? Now most people from junior, they can reach the middle level. Or the middle level, they find it very challenging to go to the top level. Most people get stranded here. Now what is the key essential skill that is required to make that switch? What do you all think is the main skill that is required to make that jump? Attitude. Attitude, yes. Now what is attitude? Now, most people, Mr. Nirmalan also said, hire for attitude. Attitude. I know people like Richard Branson. He hires 100% on attitude. Few questions they ask, they can study a person's personality. Even interview questions, when they ask you what is your hobby, they're not asking you what is your hobby, but they want to see what type of person you are. The more you can say, the more you share, the more they can study. They might ask what color you like and why. Again, to study not the color, they don't care. They want to know your personality. Again, they are trying new ways of studying people's personality. So now what is attitude? Everybody talks. 8-letter word, right? Strangely, have you noticed if you put the alphabet 1 to A to Z and write one every letter 1, 2, 3 up to 26, and the word attitude, when you count A being 1, T being 15, attitude is the only word which will equals to 100. Just try it out. What is attitude? Everybody talks of attitude. What does attitude mean to you? What does attitude mean to you? Like?
You adapting to change.
Adapting to change, yes. What else? What are the key attributes to attitude?
Thinking out of the box.
Thinking out of the box, yes. Like, here are few how you can shape your attitude by programming your mind, thinking out of the box. Always, I think you also mentioned, I can. Today, most people focus on IQ, which is knowledge. The mindset, if you focus on always, I can. Even if you don't know the problem, say I can, you're sending a mental switch to your mind saying that it is possible. 50% of the job is then done. So program your mind in future. If you have been told something, say I can. Even if you don't know what the hell it is. Richard Branson says if somebody gives you a business, say I can and then figure it out. That builds in confidence, because I can is going to be 10 times more powerful than IQ, which is knowledge. Then embrace failures. Failures have to be part of life. Winners see failures as only a learning curve. The more you enjoy failures, you learn. Actual failures are better teachers than success. Now, how many of you have experienced failures? How many of you have experienced failures? Everybody's hand should come up. Now, if you can raise it to the top, higher, because failures only makes you evolve as a person. Actually, if you had more failures, if you had a company and if you were bankrupt, where to go? Because you develop character, you developed your brand, you evolve. Because leadership is one topic that you can't learn. Or leadership is the only topic you can't learn. it is a muscle that you need to sharpen. And you can only sharpen through your own experience, through your own learnings. And the more you sharpen it, the more the muscle becomes stronger. So these are few attributes. You always have the mindset of I can, embrace failure, feel everybody is equal, building relationships. Now, I read an article where Forbes says for the next 10 years, the 3 most important qualities that they are looking for in professionals are, the first skill is, any idea? Public speaking. How many of you enjoy public speaking?
Beginning to enjoy.
Beginning to enjoy. It's a beautiful skill. I used to be a stutterer. I still stutter. The more you tap into public speaking, the more better you become. The more you will identify the beauty of it. There is a power that you can enrich. And the more you stay away from public speaking, more you're not reaching your full potential. So I would say, put that as a bucket list that you're going to sharpen your skill. Maybe join a Toastmasters club, join a BNI club, join it can be your own sports club where you can present yourself. If I'm talking to you like this, and if I talk to you even one-to-one, if I stand and talk to you, there's a subtle difference. And the more you invest in this skill, the better. The second skill, they say, it's networking. Higher you go in your career, the more you speak less and listen more and communicate a lot. You need to build networking. If you see the word networking, break it into 3. Net is your income, net, work, how you put it into action. And there's a king. Public speaking also has a king at the end, speaking. So there is a lot of power. And the third they say is business writing. More you can correspond with people in an effective manner. Short, make it a conversation than a formal letter. Make it a conversation, the more effective. First skill, public speaking. Second skill is networking. Third skill is business writing. I would also tell to add the financial management. I didn't realize the importance of financial management, even budgeting, as Mr. Nirmalan said, until I became in the C-suite. And I know, currently I'm reporting to a big conglomerate. So every month there is board meetings. And they don't care what you do in terms of business growth ideas. They want to know profit and loss. So you need to learn your financial. Numbers are very important. And the more you have an idea of your budget, P&L, so start small. Invest. I had the opportunity once to work with Dominica Berra. This is confidential. He came up with this Rajdhani Express, Exporail. Exporail, he came up with this idea to these luxury trains. There was a gentleman who came and said, he was the head of finance or head of a department who came and said, we are willing to invest 100 million in your organization. Dominica said, okay, give me your annual report. He checked. He just checked 3 pages and said, what is your profit last month? He saw the profit was not much. He said, how can you invest 100 million when your overall profit is only this much? And he questioned it. The gentleman said, okay, no, but we can commit 100. Call your CEO right now. And so much so, you have to know your numbers. Invest on numbers as well. It has a long-term benefit. Right. Now, as I mentioned, the importance of a skill. Now, if you see some of these famous personalities, what is so special about these talents? See, people in the caliber of Dhoni, Ronaldo, Muhammad Ali, Bhartiya Santosh.
They are unique in their own field.
Unique in their own field. They are talents, definitely, world-class talent. But they have something extra as well. Even I would say this group, there's another group I can show you. For example, Dan Gomez has something beyond. He has charisma,
passion.
The passion is brought out. Hard work, which is packaged into. They are good in their domain skill. Now, Dhoni is a person who comes from a place called Ranchi, which is it was famous for a mental hospital like Angoda. Ranchi is known for a mental hospital until this gentleman comes, and today MS Dhoni is Ranchi is known as Lonely's town. They built a stadium, they have revamped the city. Communication, yes, very good communicators, but more or less, they have invested in their personality. And, they have invested into their, what do you call this, the leadership muscle. So the more you can invest in your leadership muscle, the more effective it is. So understanding your personality is very, very important. I just share quick, our personalities form based on our attitude, behavior, and our values. And during which year these three are mainly built upon? Your attitude, your behavior, and values.
From small age.
From small age.
Formative age.
From formative, it comes from your home, the early stage. They say 70% of your brain is, or 80% within the first 10 years. Then it evolves. So we can't change a person's attitude. We can't change a person's attitude. But you can modify your behavior and make a shift in your personality. You're already structured with the attitude, behavior, and your values which you bring from home. But you can shift your personality and take it to the next level by investing on your communication skills. Now, if I ask you in communication, is speaking more powerful than listening, or is listening more powerful than speaking?
Both are equally.
Yes, but which is more powerful?
Listening.
And active listening. We all listen, but we don't listen actively. Key listening. I'll give you a small example. Imagine you're the bus driver, and when you leave the first bus halt, you pick 3 people. Second bus halt, you drop 2. Third bus halt, you pick 5. Fourth bus halt, you drop 2. Fifth bus halt, you pick 10. And the last bus halt, you drop 9. Okay? How old is the bus driver?
How old is the bus driver?
Yes.
Same age.
As? How old is the bus driver? It's a teaser. The answer was told in the question.
We must learn to listen to the question.
Yes. This is the power of deep listening. We all listen, fair enough. But the more you can invest on deep listening, the more you become smarter, sharper.
I was adding and minusing and the answer came to 9.
Excellent. Okay. You missed
I missed the main thing.
the bigger picture. What was the question? Who can remember the question?
We never listened to the question.
There was a question per se, imagine you are the bus driver and so it's
The answer was told at the beginning. Imagine you are the bus driver.
You are the bus.
Then evolve the question. So sometimes management, we focus on the problem, not the solution. So as a leader, always see the bigger picture, then identify the smaller problem. It creates the, you can see the vintage view, how you can solve.
That's a super question.
So EI, now emotional intelligence is a key skill that is being required in the workforce, and apparently they are looking, women's job market is going to go 80% high and men's job market is going to go down. Why is that? Actually now, the next 10, 20, 50 years, they are going to hire more women than men. Why is that? What's the key reason? Key skill they are looking at? Listening, but more as emotional intelligence. Women are better at sharing emotion. We men hide our emotions. We don't like to share, we don't like to appreciate, we don't give that extra care, like you said, even we don't compliment people enough. We hide it out. And that develops into anxiety. So the more you can share your emotions, the better it is. You break that pattern, the more effective it is. And your energy. Your energy is by you. The more you control your energy, you will see you can achieve a highest level, which you will understand in the next video. Have you all watched the program Voice?
Yeah, now we are watching.
Yes. So in Voice, like the the participant comes and audition, the judges are not, they're looking the opposite side and give
So
their
it's
feedback.
American Idol copy.
Yes, there's a duplicate. Yes, there's a program called Voice. 3 judges. This is the local version.
Now the Tamil has also started.
Now Tamil also has started. So there is demand. performance? Was it good, average, very good or excellent? What was the performance?
Above average.
Above average. Now, whose song do you think she sang?
Amaradev.
You know, is it from Amaradev, which is not easy. Now, I'm sure on that day there would have been about 200 participants. Same talent, but when they are put into the test, they cannot bring themselves. But in her case, you know, she knew there's a live audience, there are people, there are 3 judges, and she actually brought the best out of her.
Difficult song.
A very difficult song, you know, she was so composed and she brought out herself. She was not worried, she actually used that situation to bring out the best in her during adversity. And I would say just one performance, or it is one game, or it is one speech that can change your life. You know, you can, how people perceive you can change.
And only one chance.
And one chance. She grabbed it, you know, from today, her brand changed, her brand value was 10. Now, you know, what is her strength, you know, what kind of state she was in?
She was happy. She was
happy, she was relaxed.
Yeah.
But what was that state she was in?
Confident.
What level of confidence? All correct. What level of confidence? We all like to be confident. We all go there to give our best. But when it comes to when the pressure cooker is on, you can't breathe. The heat is too much to bear. But some people can bear the heat. And they bring the ice out. Now, what was her state? Her state of mind was what we call peak performance. When a person is in peak, peak the top, when you're at peak performance, you don't worry who is looking. You're only investing on you. Her biggest challenge was not the audience. Her biggest challenge was not the judge. It was her. She knew if she settles down, she can bring out the best. If you had observed closely, when she came at the beginning, she didn't sing. Few seconds she paused. This is what we call a deep breath, like what you all did, but she went one level higher, which we call a diaphragm, which is also part of voice. She knew more she can hold that breath, the higher pitch she can get. So she has been coached well, and she knew that maybe practice, repetition. She built herself to that right moment, and when she got the moment, she excelled. So we all should try to achieve peak performance. Now, why doesn't many people achieve peak performance, or they play average? What's the biggest challenge?
Not prepared.
Not prepared, confidence, others. Why don't people go after their dreams? Or why don't people achieve, firstly bring out the best within?
They listen to others sometimes.
They get conformed to society. That's a big problem. It's like a horse being tied in a chair. The horse can escape. Or it's like an elephant being tied in a chair. He can just kick the chair, but his mind has been programmed to think the chair is bigger than him. This happens currently. That's a big problem for many people. They're living like this, half of the way. If you go to hospitals, you see that, right? 90% of hospitals are mental or physical patients. It's mostly mental patients. 10% only physical, so it's the mind. Again, the fear switch. Fear is controlled by you. So the key to remember, so we should all tap into our peak performance. So how does one person tap into their peak performance? Which I like to share a little bit of psychology, because I feel psychology is very, very important when it comes to leadership. The more you know your inner game, the outer game is easy. The more you know as a leader, the problem with most people are they like to manage the exterior, while interior they're not confident. But from today onwards, if you can invest within, the outside world is not difficult, it's easier to manage. So let's see how we can first discover our strengths, know who we are, then bring out the best within. This is something that we have three types of minds. The first is called the conscious mind. The second is the subconscious, which controls almost 80%. Conscious mind is on the front end. The subconscious, which is almost 80% of our brain, which is active but not in control. And the third is the unconscious, which is kept, we say the dreams, people who, the fantasy world are the unconscious, which is more kept, we call it the buried mind. People today, when they are stressed, they like to tap into the unconscious. Little bit of drink, they go to the unconscious. So we'll keep unconscious out of the game. Even when you are going to dream, we are going into an unconscious mind. But the more we tap into our subconscious, or the more we have a relationship with our subconscious, the more powerful we become. Now the power of our subconscious is, if the more we build that relationship, more we become more powerful. Just a simple example, if I ask you, what did you have for lunch today is Thursday. Last Thursday, what did you have for lunch? Can you remember? Or what did you have for dinner? Last Thursday, whose haircut did you, which customer? We might not recall, because we are programming our conscious mind. Now, but if I ask you, can you remember September 11th, 2001? Can you remember that day? I'm sure most of you could remember. Yeah, September 11th, a specific date, or 26 December 24. Remember, why is that? That is the power of it. It has been so impactful that we remember a swift of a button. We might even remember what we did before, what we did after, whole day, how we reacted. That's the power of our subconscious. That is a deep impact. But the more you build relationship with your subconscious, the more you will understand how you, interact with people, how you make decisions, how you generate your creativity. It's all to do with your subconscious. So the more you have a rapport, the more powerful it is. Any questions thus far? So I'll proceed. So the key to find out, if I ask you, in your entire life, who do you spend most time with? In your entire life, who do you spend most time with?
Yourself.
Spot on. Jump the gun. Now, how many of you spend time with your boss more than you? Or with your wife, or your girlfriend, or your boyfriend? Doesn't matter. But the more you invest in yourself, the more you can spend time with you, the better it is. So much so you will understand the impact. Now, if you see top performance, people who are playing peak performance, they are spending 99% with them. It's programming, studying, analyzing. It's an internal game, and it's a beautiful world. Once you tap into that peak performance, it's very difficult to think middle. You always perform world class. For example, Virat Kohli or Kumar Sangakkara, if he's playing IPL test match or a local match or even a club match, he will always perform world class. He won't go there, let's give. His mind is always programmed. Same with, I'm sure Ramani Fernando always plays at peak performance. It doesn't matter if she's doing for a school girl or if she's doing for a Miss Beauty contest. She's giving her best. And that is what builds her brand. So we should always, program ourselves to pitch at peak performance, world class level. So the key to remember here is the more you spend time with yourself, the more you know who you are, the better it is. Steve Jobs was once told by his father, Steve, go and paint the picket fence. So Steve Jobs, he was 7 years old. So Steve Jobs painted the picket fence. So father comes in the evening and he observed Steve has painted the picket fence only from outside. He has kept the inside empty. So father says, good job. But when he looks the other side, he says, son, why didn't you paint the other side? Steve said, who will see if you paint the inside? He said, we will see. Similarly, when Steve Jobs gave his techies the idea to come up with the Mac computer, he said, develop the most beautiful Mac from the outside, as well as develop the most beautiful machine even inside. I think Apple is the only computer, unlike Microsoft, the PC which has the CPU and the monitor. In Apple you get both together. So he said his brief was develop the most beautiful Mac inside as well as outside. These guys are, who wants to see the inside? Why do you want us to spend so much of time? He said, we will see. Similarly, the more you invest internally, the more you will understand the game changes. Right, so how it works is, it's all to do with the understanding who you are. If I ask you, how well do you know yourself? You can, maybe in a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being, getting to know yourself, 10 being, I know myself very well. Doesn't matter what stage you are, but the journey you can start today. And the more you invest internally, it's good to, you will see different. Average, where do you stay? I forget your name. Pasan. P. Pasan. Pasan, where do you see yourself? 1 to 10. 8. How about you? 6 to 7. 9. Good. 6.
9.
Life. How well do you know yourself? 8. This is 8.
9.
9. Taridu?
8.
8. Forget your name. Vasana, yes?
8.
8. 7. 8. 8. Okay. So that's a good start. Even if you are level 1, much the better, because this is the journey that is going to happen. So key, if I ask you, do you know what is your peak time? Do you know how well do you handle stress? Do you know here are a few questions. What is your peak time? What time is your subconscious most active? People like Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, they know they don't have mobiles, they say, because they know, especially during their peak times, their door is closed always. That 1 hour what they can do is enough what other people do for days. But that is their peak. So you can discover what is your peak time and use that time to do the most important thing, the urgent thing. For most people it is the morning. For introverts they say morning hours. As you get up, the energy level you have is almost 400%. And it dies down. For highly creative people, it is the night, late night. So try to discover what is your strength and invest on that time. Use that time effectively. Are you a fast learner or slow learner? I know myself, I know I'm one of the most slowest learners, but once I get the game going, I master it. So if they ask me in an interview, what is your strength? I know my strength. You all know what is your weakness. So I use even my weakness as a strength by telling, my weakness is I'm a slow learner, but once I learn the craft, I master it. So it gives them to understand at the beginning I'm a slow learner. And that's my style for a long time. So try to identify what is your strength as well as weakness and convert it to advantage. What type of leader are you? What type of leader would you like to be under? Little things, it can make a huge difference. We will study a few leadership case studies as well. Again, the secret is how you discover your subconscious is every day have a 3-minute conversation with you. We call it mental mapping. Can we make a commitment every day to spend, before you go into bed, 3 minutes with yourself? How many of you journal? Write down what your plans to do or what you did. Not writing it in a diary, journals, because your mind has to be empty. If you see an idea, just journal it. Write it down, because that journal can be used 1 year, 2 years, 10 years later even. You just jot down every day 3 points. What did you do good? What are the plus points? What is the weakness? Even while a conversation, if you spoke in a wrong way, say next time I'm going to control. I'm going to ask in a different way. My tone, the pattern, little things makes a big difference. So the key to remember is make your subconscious your best friend. Can we make a commitment? Can we all stand? Let's make a vow. I'm going to make my subconscious. I'm going to discover my subconscious and make it a best friend. Can do? Yes. Okay, good. There are nice stories. People like Bruce Lee. Andre Agassi, the famous tennis player. He has a book. Read his book. Open. You can beautiful book. Open. It's the full journey, how he started to how he finished the game. He says, he is one of the most successful tennis players. Before any match, he takes a bath, but he has to take a key bath between half an hour bath or 1 hour bath, few hours before the match. That's a subconscious bath for him. The more he taps into the subconscious, he can achieve peak performance. Tony Robbins, I think Mr. Nirmalan has attended Tony Robbins. Have you heard Tony Robbins? Tony Robbins has, large crowd, 250, 300,000 in a stage. And this gentleman from 10 in the morning to 12 in the night keeps the audience live. And sometimes he does it 7 days a week. So people wondered what was his secret. He says his secret was he dives into a extremely cold water, like a small mini pool he has created, to get the jive himself. So it can be crazy thoughts. For me, having a little bit of a nap, not before an interview, before a presentation, can tap into my, highest level. So you study these little patterns where you can tap in. Because this buzz time, it will help you channel your energy. It's all to do with energy. Bruce Lee is another. He says, live life like a glass of water. Make it very simple. We like to live heavy. He says, live simple. Another good case study. I have always wondered, if you go to the African desert, there are wildebeest. I think the wildebeest, there are about thousands of wildebeest crossing one country to another, and one single lion, there are about 10,000 wildebeest, one single lion is dominant there. And I was always wondering, why can't these guys just turn back and just scare this fellow? Why do you think?
He's a leader, like.
Yeah, he shows the dominance. The lion plays the dominance, which is body language. It's a power game. But why can't these wildebeest just turn back and what is the weak point? They don't realize that they have so much of strength. Teamwork is there. This guy looks for the weakest player or the smallest and he taps. And it's a pattern. It's the nature of the jungle. But what is lacking in this wildebeest?
Leadership. They just herd instinct.
Herd instinct, or more or less, herd instinct, lack of subconscious. Basically, animals don't have a subconscious, so they are weak until they are put to the highest test. Then one guy just breaks down and comes close. Then a few guys come and tap in. But that can be extreme during extreme adversity, which we all also react. We all have that power to react subconsciously. But I'm trying to tap into you at a conscious level. Be aware of your subconscious.
Singapore is partly like this.
Singapore is partly like
Because,
this.
yeah, I worked there. Lee Kuan Yew has taught them to be followers.
Wow.
They are very good in what they do, but they won't think out of the box.
Yes.
Now I work where I was the only foreigner. Very good. If you ask them something, they'll give you at 4:30 promise time. They don't like to be told twice. They are a nation of followers. My humble opinion.
The secret of success?
Success, whatever they do it well.
They do it very well. Wow.
And they also plan. I also worked there for 6 years in one of these largest companies. They plan. When I work with the CEO. I was from Sri Lanka, and he picked me because of that, also being Sri Lankan. And he never, since we're all Chinese, he never make a quick decision. He will ponder and very successful. And he will make a decision. He will come to an answer very finely. Same way with my father. When I ask something, even for a little bit of money, he will not give me that money. He will wait and wait. And here I'm needing money, So their decision making takes a long time. Once implemented, no shaking. They will go for it.
Plan. Yeah.
They plan. Because the Chinese like to listen to their parents.
Wow.
Follow the leader.
Correct.
You see, that mentality is there with the Chinese. So generally, that's why coronavirus.
Fear mentality.
Yeah, and also Chinese, the government also said no, you can't leave. Nobody left. They just stay at home. Here we would have come. No nonsense. So they listen. So this discipline, the way they did that. So that is the success of Singapore. They saw other people. They learned. So they follow, but follow a good leader.
Exactly, that's the key.
That's the key. Good leader who is also impeccable.
Yes, the role model.
Yeah, Lee Kuan Yew is not a rich man.
Exactly.
And his father worked for a Sri Lankan.
He changed the values.
Yeah,
He said,
He
it's
worked
about
for BP
people,
the Silvas.
culture.
Yeah, and
money is secondary.
Even when he was prime minister, his father was working at BP the Silvas. And he was not a rich man. And they still have the old house and they're still fighting for the brothers and sisters even today. So, one good leader, they follow, but they plan very, very carefully and very stingy with their money.
Or frugal.
Careful.
You can call it frugal.
Frugal. Very frugal is the right word. Very careful. And we had a war chest. We had about cash, about $700 million. Our company. Most companies were scared of us because we'll buy them over. We'll take them over. So that's the same companies we learn from here. Whereas very easy with money. But nowadays our local companies borrow a lot. No.
Yes.
The other companies that I work hardly borrowed any money. But we had the facilities. So I'm saying they have a big war chest, they collect, and they do very good planning.
True.
That's a success.
Planning and implementation.
Yes.
They have a deadline based plan.
Yeah. Once they decide, it's decided. No changing halfway this way, that way. No.
In fact, I think I was having a chat, even Sri Lanka, we don't want democracy. What we need is discipline.
Discipline.
Exactly. Now, even if we put, today we have 4 roads in Gaul Road. Even if you put 10 roads, 10 velocity still cross this way, that way. Yeah. So I really feel that discipline, like you said, and especially Asian, we need to be for us to tap into our best self. So sometimes if you have a leader who taps you in a hard way to get the best out of you, you can see it as a blessing. At that time you will curse that fellow, but you will see the pattern, which we will see a few case studies. I'll speed it a bit, So one of the missions of today's objective is tap into your subconscious, because it is how 30,000 times more powerful than your conscious mind. So most of us are playing with our conscious mind. So from today say that I'm going to have a better rapport with my subconscious. It's a reprogramming. Virat Kohli, brilliant player, but he has a beautiful story. He has a lot of talent. He has about 9 tattoos, if you notice, in his body. It's not just tattoo. Each tattoo is a message to his subconscious. How he developed his, discipline is, he says his father died while he was playing match, and that was like a great turning point in his life. He went for the funeral and came back to the match, and he put a tattoo that. So every time he knows life is short. Then when he was picked to the India, he won the India A, he was the captain, they won the World Cup. Then he was picked for the IPL, I think he was only 19 years, then Delhi Daredevil. He saw it as a party, IPL is like a carnival. So he went, flamboyance, going nightclub, dancing, and he performed so bad that year, 2008, they wanted to drop him. But somebody, Vijay Mallya said, no, he's a talented kid, let's keep it. So he put a tattoo saying that, focus. So he said from that point he knew every year, do not get distracted. Focus. So this is a way he connects. So I'm not telling you to put tattoos, but find a way, maybe a small board, a little notebook, journal. The more you can have a rapport with your subconscious, the more you will discipline yourself. And the more you sharpen your skill, the better it is. It is repetition. And the more you feed your subconscious, you will see the magic happen. It's a beautiful journey that starts. Right, it's all about subconscious. I like to just share about leadership, because leadership, like I said, is a muscle that needs to be grown. Now, if you see in this ring, where do you see yourself? You don't see, but do you see yourself inside the ring or outside the ring? To become a leader, we have to step up. Now, most of us are gallery. We like to be in the gallery, watching, clapping, cheering. But as a leader, you have to step into the ring. And you might get punched sometimes. You might get knocked down. You have to somehow get up. And leadership begins the moment you step into the ring. And it's like a lava. The more you get burnt, the diamond becomes more. The shape of the diamond brings up. I think Mike Tyson, who said everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. So we all have a plan, but we are not stepping in. So make a vow to step in. And if you are given leadership, accept it. Jump into leadership, because it's fun. Because what happens, it's an evolving journey, like a tree. The more you invest in your leadership, first year it's hard, second year is worse, third year no results, fourth year little plant will grow. Your plant, the root will grow. Fifth year, you'll see the branches done. Then 1 fruit will come. Then 10 fruits will come. Then only you see the magic happen. So it's an evolving journey. Right, so few case studies. If I ask you in this group, which leader that you admire? Or if I ask you in general, tell me a leader that you admire and why. Who is your favorite leader? Pasan, and why?
To be honest, I don't have a favorite.
It can be even not a famous person, somebody close to you. It can be even your neighbor.
Well, from here I can speak Steve Jobs easy.
Yes, and why?
Because of the way he sold the Apple brand. He was kicked out of the company, and then it went down, and then he came back and picked it up again. Apple used to be a niche product in the beginning, but then somehow he they came out the iPhone and then the old Maxis.
Innovation.
Yeah, so they are still a niche brand,
Yes.
but everyone knows what Apple is. And
Yes.
they are one of the most highly valued companies in the world. So
You admire his leadership for
the way
transforming.
for the way he built up the brand, I mean, basically.
Yeah, that first video, just have a look on Google. That's the original video. How he invested. It has a nice message. He says Nike. He role models Nike. He says Nike never says my shoe is the best sold. He always says we honor the athletes. Just do it. Same model he used to have. Good. Who do you like as a leader in this picture?
In my life, like father. My father.
Your father. Why? What is the key attribute?
How he managed the family and how he supported us and the way he
What is
managed
the key skill you can pick that you admire about him?
about him was the money management and how he has built up his business. Those things.
Good. Okay. Nice. How about you?
Same about me, because when it comes to my father, he also had a very difficult life, and he completely turned it around and made sure that we didn't go through the same times.
Excellent. Good. Okay. Thanks. Anjali?
My mother actually.
Yeah. Okay. What do you like? What are the leadership skills? I would say mothers are the best leaders, inspirational leaders. They make us want to do not. No, it's called inspiration. That's the highest form of leadership, like Nelson Mandela. Few people, if you are working under inspirational leadership, that's a beautiful moment. Some people see Steve Jobs as an inspiration. Some people hate that film. He's one of the worst. But the people who loved him, excel. So it's how you play the game. Okay. Anjali?
She always sets the example, not just
Lead by example. Okay. How about you?
From these,
Or in general, yeah, up to you.
yeah, from these I say Steve Jobs because when it's come to software industry, so I had I read some about article from him. So he said that if somebody asks from the people, before the cars were made, if they have asked people what do you need for ride, they will tell I need 1,000 horses. But when the car was made, so it's a different thing. So we have to lead by example and make something. And actually people didn't think about it. How before the car was made, they ride horses.
Yes.
So at that time they want more horses.
Correct.
But they didn't think about the cars.
Correct. He was one step ahead of the game. Huge risk taker, but he always backed his ideas. Great. Okay. Steve Jobs. How about you? Who do you like as a leader?
Ernesto Che Guevara.
Che Guevara. Very nice. Key skill?
He, coming from a middle class family, being a doctor, he gave up all that and he went into the jungle to fight for a country that was not belonging to him in Cuba, to fight for the poor. He wanted to change that nation, to change inequality. So, and it cost his life. He was killed later by the CIA. So I admire him as a leader.
Even Diane Gomez, I think, follows Che Guevara.
Is it?
The cap.
That cap.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Sega, who do you like as a leader?
Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela.
Fought against apartheid.
Yes, Rainbow Nation. He just said one word to the South Africans are known as chokers. They don't win this year, they won. But in 1994, he landed the helicopter while the rugby team was practicing. He said, let's go on a tour. Took them to Robben Island where he was put in the prison and showed them. It's a real story. You can watch it. The movie is at the Invictus. It was a subtle form of inspiring the boy, and he told the captain, "You're more than a sporting nation." Just few words. So much so that they won the World Cup the very next year.
World Cup in rugby or
World Cup in rugby,
Rugby.
95. I think the last World Cup also they won. Yes, so few words but a very powerful man. Who do you like as a leader, Vasana, and why?
This I like Teresa more.
Mother Teresa.
She helps all the poor
Correct.
people and she was an example for
Very good. Okay.
I love my mother because
Lead by example. Rikas, who would you suggest?
I would suggest I have two characters, but I choose Muhammad Ali because he has told something when was an interview. He said, I used to do training, but when I used to do my exercises, I used to count when I feel the pain. Then only I started counting.
On the pain only he gets the game. Now, have you met Chandrashan Pereira, the sporting CHNFC? He's a very nice gentleman. He speaks.
Now he's handicapped.
He's a little not well.
Muscle problems. A lot of problems.
Not a problem. CHNFC. He told me in 1996 he was the physical coach of the Sri Lankan team. And it was under Devatma was the coach. He says he gets the team to run 10 rounds, like what he was saying. And Chandrashan only comes to the grounds once the 10 rounds is run by the 96 team. From that point only he wants them to tap into their inner strength. So they are like pissed off, but he says that derived a lot of mental toughness. So, I just added to your friend. Right, so more you like to share, who is your favorite leader?
For me, it's Nelson Mandela. Because he was put in jail for about 26 years. He came out, he didn't have animosity, nothing against the whites.
Correct.
And he excused them mentally.
Correct. Now that is a different form of peak, where he is subconscious. When more we are put to test, we tap into our unconscious. If you hurt me, I want unconsciously, I would say I want to test. But what does Nelson Mandela did was he controlled his subconscious. He was conscious about his the decision. When you are put in a 4x4 prison, you go mad. But this man became more lively,
When he was more moderate when he came out.
Yeah, he was more moderate. That is control of his subconscious. Deep thinking. Wonderful, thank you. So again, few things. Leadership is a muscle that needs to be enriched and can be anybody. We all are born leaders, and the more we tap into ourselves, we excel in our leadership. I'll just move fast, so keep in mind, leadership is a tree that you have to invest. One of the key skills is communication. The more you invest in your communication, the more powerful you become, and getting to know yourself. I always like to see leadership part of sports, because in sports you can tap into real leadership. You can see during adversity, during challenges, there's a lot of leadership lessons we can pick. These are all self-leaders, how they have developed their inner patterns. Like Nirmalan said, one of the key components in leadership is empowerment. Because leadership is actually, the main objective is to lead, and the more you can bring out the best in others. Now, most people think leadership is power. And leadership, the best form of leadership is servant leadership. The more you can serve and bring out the best in others, like people like Nelson Mandela, anybody who can tap into others. Mother Teresa, she had no goal. Her goal was
Consideration.
That is a deep impact, highly valued. I value, I had a program with MS. I would say Mahesh Amalin is an epitome of leadership. He knows the right people to put at the right place. Mahesh is a better leader. I ask why? Because Mahesh puts the right people in the right place, and he controls energies. Managing people like Diane Gomez, managing some of the top, playing with egos. So the more he knew how to play with people's emotions, play with egos, control them and get the best out of them. So that's another skill. Another person is, I think, MS Dhoni. Gives the freedom, gives the space, but gets the maximum. He inspires leads by example. Richard Branson, there's a nice story. Richard Branson, have you heard Asia? Tony Fernandez.
Yes.
Tony Fernandez was the owner of Asia. He walks in, he was a singer when he was young. So he wanted to become a musician. Everybody rejected him, so he walks into this Virgin Records back in 1970s. And the interviewers said, "You're not good enough." He walks out, Richard Branson is walking in. He thought, okay, life, Tony Fernandez in his own words says, life is about taking chances. He said, he said, "Richard, I really like you, I admire your work." He said, "Why are you here?" "I'm here for an interview." "Are you chosen?" He said, "No, I have not been chosen." And they had a small conversation, and Richard liked what he said. "Okay, let's go for a coffee." And within half an hour, he said, I see something in you, high attitude, I like your attitude." And this big person became the finance manager of Virgin. Few words, you can understand people's, the real, the attitude of a person. And so much so, Tony Fernandez went into opening in Asia.
But now he's blacklisted.
He's blacklisted.
Yeah, because they were fraud in age.
Not a fraud. It was.
What was it?
Here they gave the cash. The Sri Lankan Airbus deal. There, instead of cash, Airbus gave money for various projects. Okay, for various. Let's say he had a big sports carnival, and then they sponsored the sports carnival. So nobody, even Mahathir himself says they didn't take cash. So they got them to sponsor this. So here it was cash. So therefore, it black mark, but he personally, his executives took any money. Only they spent on an event.
Then it's okay. But the media started it bad.
No, media always can tell you anything.
Controversy sells.
That's true. Controversy
But
sells.
it's a little argument, but during challenges, the more you control your emotions, the more effective. Thank you for that. Right, few more. This gentleman, he also has one of the
Manchester coach,
Sir Alex Ferguson. Manchester was a failing brand. He comes there. It took him almost 10 years to revive the brand. He is the father figure to Cristiano Ronaldo, to David Beckham. David Beckham was a playboy. He said, "You be a playboy outside, but when you come to the dressing room, you have to be there 9 o'clock. You have to leave at 4. Discipline is first." He has thrown. Sometimes there is head-on collision with David Beckham. The respect was there. So one thing, Ferguson, you should read his book. Very interesting. Goes into detail. It's a very lonely game. Sometimes I have to stay in my management room and I can see the boys passing, but they are afraid to come and tell me good morning even, because I keep that space. But I don't mind they coming and telling me. But as a leader, sometimes you have to keep that space. But it's all to do with how you build that rapport. But Alex Ferguson, he knew how to tap into everybody's talent and brought the best in each and every one. He said that one of the best skills as a leader, as a manager, what you should tap into is your buzz time. What I mean is buzz time is your mind is so powerful. Again, when I say mind, I'm not talking about your conscious mind. Conscious mind is useless. Your subconscious. How you tap into your subconscious is, go for a walk, try to refocus, rewire your patterns. So I would say every 1 hour, just put a walk out of your office, go for a tea, talk to a friend, talk to somebody who is positive. You will see something that was stuck in your brain, ideas will come like this, what should I do, Suddenly you go for a walk, go for a prayer, you will see, because you're tapping into your subconscious. Can do the buzz time, keep in mind, the buzz time brings your peak performance. Leadership is about managing your emotions. Name of the game. The more you control. Now, who control your emotions? Who controls our emotions?
the individual.
We control our. And now, when it comes to emotions, most people think emotions is a negative word. Maybe because the dictionary has 2,200 negative emotion and 1,200 positive emotion. But keep in mind, all emotion can be fear, it can be anger, it can be frustration, it can be even jealous, envy. It's all controlled by us. And love, again, the entire emotions is controlled by us like a switch. The more you have awareness of your emotion, again, it's a leadership muscle. There was a situation, I don't know if you remember, in last World Cup, 2019, India, this Ambati Raidu played very well for the IPL, and he was wanted to be picked, but they picked Vijay Shankar, and Shekhar Dhawan got injured in the match. The reason they said why they picked Ambati Raidu, Vijay Shankar was he's not a three-dimensional cricketer, meaning not a batsman, bowler, and fielder, and they picked Vijay Shankar. And another player, he was the third. The opening batsman got injured, Shekhar Dhawan. So he was thinking that he is going to be picked. Somebody got injured, and he was excited. But they picked another player called Mayank, another IPL performer. And this guy got so annoyed, he put a text on tweet, just a hint. They said he's not a three-dimensional cricketer, so lack of emotions or lack of maturity, he wrote, just ordered a new set of 3D glasses to watch the World Cup. Basically, the hint was 3D. And he made the selectors even more angry. He was so unlucky, another player got injured. But still they didn't pick him. And he retired from internet. Very good talent, but cannot control his emotions. So sometimes if you can't control your emotions, you're losing a lot. I have seen this a lot with management trainees. They're very talented, very skillful. But the moment the pressure is put, they burst out. Especially the young generation. So they have to tap into their inner strength. As a leader, you also have to coach it. Today you can't pull like Hitler. No, this. It has to be diplomatically, win-win situation. It's all trying to tap into, it's a win-win situation. So keep in mind, managing your emotions is another key skill. How many of you have watched the movie Godfather? Guys, it's a guy's movie. Even I know women watch the movie. That day I had a session, a lot of women said they have watched. Marlon Brando, a very good actor. It's all about leadership. He says he kills a person and says it's nothing personal, only business. You do it in a way. Sometimes in business, in work, in life, you have to take decisions. Sometimes decisions can be hard. Sometimes decisions can be, there might be misunderstanding, but you have to take the decision with the power, with that diplomatic authority. You have to show that you have that ability. That power is, it doesn't matter even your street. Today they're looking for street smart entrepreneurs to come and lead because they find they have that fire in them. So the more you can tap into that, the better it is. I would advise to watch this movie, a very good series, especially the first scene, the Godfather 1. Marlon Brando, charged when a young Italian, a 29-year-old director went to Marlon Brando, an American actor, and said, I have an idea to do a film about the Italian mafia, Napier. Marlon Brando was a polished actor. He said, I will act in the film under one condition. This was in 1975. You pay me $25,000 per minute. Per minute, $25,000. But he agreed. So, if you see, he had put dentures, right, for his teeth.
But he filled up his face.
He filled up his
cotton wool and all that.
I thought, so here, if you watch the movie, to speak like an Italian. Very powerful. So much so.
Who was the famous director? I forget.
Robert De Niro was there.
No, that's the actor.
You mean the
director?
He's still alive. He's about 80.
He's 80. So much so, Marlon Brando was killed halfway in the program. He's so expensive.
Yes.
Within the 45 minutes, he dies. But the film became hit. It became a hit. It became part 2, part 3.
Yes.
Part 2, I think, part 1, part 2, Al Pacino was the Godfather. Part 3, Robert De Niro also was top actors.
Yes.
So when they asked Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, what was the secret of, how did you become? He says, just following this man was good enough for us to learn leadership. As a leader, it is transforming others. Sometimes it happens naturally, but your brand can bring out the other leaders. Even how you carry yourself, the little things. Right, few more examples. how many think Marwan Atabatu is a good leader? 10 minutes, okay. So, okay, Marwan Atabatu, now I feel all four are good leaders. They have their own unique styles.
Yes.
Marwan, good captain. If cricket lovers, going back.
Coach, no?
Good coach. He had the guts to say, I don't want to be under puppets for the selector. He was a good captain. Though he was not a flamboyant captain, under him, Sri Lanka won a lot of, good players evolved, like Mahela, Sangakkara. No, they were given that freedom to bring out the best.
Sorry to cross, but he was given a lot of chances. He was 0-0.
At the beginning, correct.
A lot of zeros.
We have to give credit to Arjuna. Arjuna gave him that freedom. Even for Sanath's story, Sanath first 100 matches, his average was of 12%. But Arjuna gave him that freedom. Very good. Arjuna, many people say, is a fantastic cricket leader, a horrible politician leader. Some people once I had a training, one CEO jumped and shouted at me, Arjuna is a very bad leader. So I had to confront. That was because as a cricketer, he's a very good leader, captain, leader. He stepped out. He created that culture. But it's an evolving game. You can't just force yourself as a brand. It's an evolving game, right? I'll skip. Now keep in mind, in every team there will be a dark horse, a difficult person to manage. In the Pakistan.
Dark horse may not be a bad thing.
Dark horse can be the naughty fellow, or it can be a mischievous fellow. Now in the Sri Lankan cricket team, Malinga is not an easy person to manage. High of emotion. He was handpicked by Champaka. Dilshan is not easy to manage. Every team will have. Even in your office there will be people. How do you manage these people? Now in Pakistan 92 World Cup, Javed Miandad was a street smart fellow. But a wild player. But Imran managed to get the best out of Javed Miandad. In 92 when Pakistan won the World Cup, the media asked Imran Khan, they didn't worry about the World Cup. They asked, how did you manage Javed Miandad? Imran just said one answer. He said the process of evolution has bypassed Javed. Singalan කියනවා ඌව හදන්න පුළුවන් කාලේ ඉවරයි. ඌව හදන්න බෑ. So I gave him that space.
Sure.
Sometimes in leadership, you have to play with your ego. Give them the space or give them a title. Don't make them the captain. Now, I felt they can bring out the best in others. Give them the vice captain role or a senior role. Sometimes they may excel. So that's a good strategy to use a dark horse. A difficult customer, give them a title or give them a space. Every organization will have that. They will shine. And another thing, you have to have an eye for talent. As a leader, I know Diane Gomez, the number one talent of Diane is he has an eye for talent. Richard Branson. They'll go the extra mile and say, I want this person. Imran Khan picked Wasim Akram and Inzamam few months before the World Cup. How he picked Wasim Akram Wasim was a net bowler. 2 days before a tour to New Zealand. Imran said, I like this lad who is bowling in the nets. Get him to the team. Then the selector said, no, they have already picked a team. He said, no, I want him, I won't go without him. And they got Wasim Akram. And Wasim turned out to be a star. And even today he commends Imran Khan in his speech. So as a leader, you might have to take that extra risk. You trust someone, give them the authority, they will excel. They will appreciate it. Gautam Gambhir was a difficult customer. Steve Jobs, Steve Waugh, and what's his name? Shane Warne don't talk hand in hand. 99 World Cup semi-finals or day before, what's his name? Shane Warne went for a party and came late nights. Steve Jobs ruled, come back by 10. He dropped him for the quarterfinals. But brought him back for the semis. From that day to today, these two don't talk to each other. But they respect each other. So sometimes, but you give him the authority. I think he became the vice captain later, or he removed him from the vice captain. But he respected me as a player. So you will have dark horses. You always say Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs hired the Pepsi CEO. Pepsi CEO later, got together with the group and said it. But if he knew how to work along his team, give him the space. It's an ego game. They would have both excelled. Later, he regretted his decision. Same with some of the English players, Andrew Flintoff, very difficult customer. But they excelled under Nasser Hussain, under Michael Vaughan.
Hussain was a good captain.
Very good captain. Even I feel Gary Kirsten.
Yes, but a very good coach.
Very good coach. He was not a good player. Again with Tendulkar, not a good captain, very good player. He wanted the space. Gary Kirsten, same story. He had only 4 objectives when he joined the team. 2 was cricket, 2 was simple. Make the dressing room a happy place and make players better people. Okay, so if I ask you how many of you have mentors or coach, I think Nirmalan's speech said have a godfather. How many of you have coach or a mentor you can tap into? Now what's the difference between a mentor and a coach? A coach is somebody, a mentor is somebody who excels in that field. For example, a cricketer, they look for a cricket mentor, somebody who has played the game. A coach is, a cricket team can hire a rugby coach even to teach them endurance. So how many of you have a mentor or a coach in your life? Raise your hand. I have about 5 coach mentors. I learned from everybody. If you have people, you can get advice. Step in. Or in your organization itself, you can go and create that rapport with them. Go and talk to them when you have difficulties. You will see a tremendous value. And even if you get to speak to them for 10 seconds, it's a value. I had a friend called Sujit Bandul here. He was a very good speaker. I used to sometimes walk up to his car just to talk to him for a few seconds. It was priceless. So make a note to find a mentor. Can be sometimes at the beginning finding a mentor can be, what are you doing out there? Find a mentor can be hard, but once you make it a pattern, it's very easy to find mentors or coach. It's a quick video about
the right hand over, come back with that hook, double hook I want. Come on. You ain't gonna hit nobody with that shot. Forget about it. You don't know what the heck you're doing. Come on, you want to be somebody? Let the jab go. I'm going to be a fighter. You ain't nothing.
You're full of it, old man. What do you know about boxing?
Cool down, kid. Let's go get a pizza. What's this?
It's from the man in the corner. He says you taught him everything he knows.
Sometimes nothing brings people together like a nice hot pizza from Pizza Hut.
I'm not promoting pizza. The whole commercial. So fine, that's his real coach. Muhammad Ali's real coach. So finding a mentor, he can be hard at you. That's a blessing, like I said. It can be your coach, it can be even your father. He must have been tough on you, but there is a message that they like to bring out there, and it can be love as well. Right, so another aspect to grow as a leader is finding a mentor, many mentors, coach, and finding your network. If you find your right network, you do your well. This was on WhatsApp. Father, before he dies, just gives the watch to his son and tells to sell it. So he goes and go to the watch, few people and try to sell, and they offer him only $5. Then he comes back to the father and says, I tried few shops and they only offered $5. Father says, take it to the museum. You're taking it to the wrong place, take it to the museum. And the museum offered him almost $5 million. So sometimes we don't know our real value until we are put to test. Find our synergy, find our groups. Try to find what we call master groups, masterminds. It can be like can be your work, or it can be a club, or it can be a passionate activity, or it can be something that is connected to you. If you find that mastermind, synergies happen. Right, so this is all about leadership, Any questions? One more chapter which I will just cover quickly. Now, how many of you remember this Christmas tree in 2006? Arjuna brought it up. How many think it's a good idea? Highest, tallest Christmas. How many think it's a good idea? Good initiative.
I thought it was a good idea.
Raise your hand if you think it's a good idea.
I thought.
Bad idea?
Good idea, too expensive.
Too expensive. Financial talking. Bad idea? It's either a girl or a boy. No middle. Bad idea? I think, personally, I think it's a good idea. Because keep in mind, as a leader, as first year, you will never get anything right. First year is the hardest. Like I said, it's the evolving journey. If you have continued by today, it would have been a very superb project. Even for the first year, it was quite a good project. This was done. So keep in mind, first year, nothing goes right. If it goes right, that means you have to work double hard. So it's an evolving journey. As a leader, the more you work on it, the better you become. So it's an evolving journey. You start to value, respect others. So like you said, Steve Jobs says, what differentiates leaders and followers is innovation. So you have to upgrade yourself. Like you say, Apple 1, Apple 2, Apple 3. As a individual, you have to add new goals, sharpen your skills in whichever way. So keep a track. Every 3 months, have small goals. Today I'm going to invest in. It can be dancing skills, joining a karate class. It can be joining a club, doing something, buying a gift to your wife, something that you didn't like. Sometimes the crazier the thought, the more beautiful the value is. I remember 10-15 years when I was dating my wife, I didn't have much money at that time. Those times we tried to impress her during birthdays. So I was like, didn't have money, I pocketed out. So once what I did was I went to a recording studio, got all the love songs and got it recorded. And with the love song, I put a chit, a small C, the love song, and the small meaning behind it. Why I wrote that love song. And to be honest, she must have thrown all the other gifts, and that only cost me 500 rupees. She values that. I still see that paper. CD is maybe broken, but that paper piece is valued. Sometimes it's little things. Podi, thank you note. Sending a message. Sometimes I've seen the difference between good and excellent is me put type. If somebody sends you a mail, reply him and say, okay, noted, thank you for the message. Somebody send you a message, good leaders never assume, no, I'm sure this guy will, they'll double check, are you coming? You have, as a follower, as a leader, make that confirmation, okay? The little things what will shine you as a leader. 10 minutes more, we'll cover a very interesting topic. This gentleman? Kobe Bryant, he died last month. He's just a very good case study. Like I said, I want to cover a very important topic, which is non-verbal. 10 minutes, can do? Right, so very important topic. As a leader, I feel body language is a key skill. So what is body language? We'll just cover it. According to a professor, he says content is only 7%. Now body language is 55% and voice, which is also part of non-verbal, is 38%. So what are the characteristics of body language? Your posture, hand movement, gestures, eye contact, expressions, walking, space, appearance. Let's cover a few tips on body language. Sorry. Now if I ask you posture, who comes to mind? Tell me some people, when you, a Sri Lanka that you think who had a very good posture. He can be a president, maybe the last 10 years, 15 years. Jan had a good posture, no? Yes. Who else? Now when we talk of leaders, sometimes it is nothing to do with their content, but it is how they stand, how they talk, how they articulate. Ronald Reagan had a good posture. Who else? In Sri Lanka during the last 10 to 15 years? Who comes to mind?
Lakshman Kadiragama.
Kadiragama had a good posture.
Yeah.
Recent past. Who comes to mind?
Posture can be bad and good both.
Yeah, a good posture. Some people for men, posture is the first thing when we are communicating. First thing we are standing by our posture. We are standing like this. Some people can't. First impression is your posture. For men, especially interview. Even for women, we call it a stance. So the more we are conscious about our posture, the more effective. Who comes to mind during the last 10-15 years? A good president. Our president who had very good posture. He was a good actor. But he had a... Who? Emma. Now Emma is a master actor. He'll put a shawl, he'll carry a child. But his posture is 100% accurate. And he is straight, always 90. People around him also has a good posture. If you see, Reward Cabral is a very soft man, but in Mahinda he has to become straight. Violent calm. So what is a good posture? If I talk to you like this, is it a good posture? Is this a good posture?
No.
No. Yes?
No.
So ideally, it should not be too much or too little. It should be medium posture, little bit of V shape. Hands should be relaxed. Can all stand? Take a deep breath. Not too much, not too little, medium space. Hands like carrying 2 buckets of water. Right? But the most important thing to remember is your chin should always be medium level, this level. Chin should be up. So it gives you confidence. Like somebody just holding your head. So sometimes it can be a public speech, giving a presentation, walking to a boardroom, talking to your CEO. Hi, welcome. Nice to meet you. First impression, people who are observing you can be walking to a cocktail. Confident guy, yeah, very smart fellow. I should talk to him. First impression. So your first posture is 50% of communication. Okay, good. And don't go home today and posture your wife or father and mother. It should be strategical. Now Shah Rukh Khan is also, I would say, he is also good. Very good posture. Online, while the film as well as offline. If you see, he's very conscious about his posture. I saw in one of the funerals, Sridevi's funeral, everybody comes and go. But not when Shah Rukh comes, you can see the presence. Successful people, you can see it in their posture. They say Amitabh Bachchan, Jackson Anthony has it, Denzel Washington has it, I think Ronald Reagan.
Jackson Anthony has it.
He has it, the guy. Jackson, and if you see him, he has it very far. Diane Gomez has it. People say Chandrika Kumar Dubey has it. They have built on it. Many people, real people, if you study, this is the posture that we study. So more you conscious about your posture, the better it is. Few more examples. Now in this political stage, all have very good posture. They know if one president was like this, game over. They will have the right. Finished. Now, second, what they fight is for the front row. Now, Donald Trump can be a little bit of a controversy, but he knows the business. He knows how to tackle difficult situations. Very good posture. Now, some people say Theresa May has like a, manly attire. She says, I can't help it because when I'm with heavyweights, I have to show the manly power. She played that very well. Now, in this picture, who is showing that power posture? And who is showing a weaker posture?
Lagarde. No, Lagarde.
Lagarde, yes. Christiane Lagarde of the IMF head. Is she having a power posture or weaker posture?
Oh, because he's keeping the hand on the hip and talking.
Now how do you know the gentleman is under pressure?
Because
he has locked his hand. So now this is a power posture. Again, this is like this. This is power. Now Superman in the mehima, Wonder Woman in the mehima. This is again psycho, non-verbal. This is at the beginning. Some people said body language can't be 55%. And they argue. The more you understand the impact of body language, more you know it's a PhD. But this is psychologically power. If somebody is this, that's if your boss is like this and you go and say, I want a raise, he will, he is in a different mind. Power game at the end.
No, but Farill, here she's talking down like.
She's giving him the dead stare and asking something. How do you know he is at a defect by? Now, even if he's at fault, he should have put his hand out. Sorry, I didn't know it, that's my mistake. By doing this, what is the minister done? No, I am Kalma silk. So ideally, even if he's at fault, he should have kept his hand down. This is another good posture, a good hand. So posture is power. Even I have noticed animal studies people's posture. When I walk, and so forth. And the dog studies your posture. Later I tried it, putting the straight forward, chin up, and it works. Try it. Make sure not a piece of but try it with a normal dog. It 100% works with your posture.
And the dog also know whether you love her or not.
Exactly.
Also your confidence.
Confidence. And confidence, you fake it until you make it. There's this program called Dog Whisperer. The famous fellow from Mexico, he comes to US. He says his job is to manage these wild dogs. So he goes to houses to see how sometimes dogs are more powerful than the owner. So he studied a few case studies. Most of the people they do is they let the dog in front. And the dog, when they see another dog, it runs away. He says that's the biggest mistake. When you're in power, the dog should be always behind you. Then the dog knows that you're in control. You're being led. You're being led. And next is hand movement. If you pull his neck, pull his this. Then hand movement, which is the next topic. Next is hand movement. When you have conversation, use as much as possible what we call open palms. Hand movement, what we call open. Everybody, if you can put your hands in front, palm, sorry, which is more clear, calm to you. This side, so what we call open palm. The more when you're conversating with people, have a lot of open palm. Because open palms is trust. It has a better relationship, better rapport. Communication is more clear. And the more you have open palms, the better. We say navel level. May level the palm. May level is too tight. Gentlemen, not today. Even in talking to a friend, try to have open palms. It creates trust. Even if you say casual conversations, Angela Merkel, most of them have a lot of things what we call open palm. It creates the bond. Okay, so the higher. Now, what's the difference between open palms and gestures? Open palm and gestures. What's the key difference?
Gesture can be a threatening one also.
Yes. Open palms is full hand. Gestures is everything to do with the fingers are the same thing, but you're making it more personalized. It can be a good posture or a negative posture.
Open palm is transparent.
Transparent, yeah, you're giving transparency, the trust, the building that connection. Now here we see everybody have good gestures. The more you can share your message. Some people are too stiff. Gesture. In courtroom they don't allow you to do this anymore. You do it like this. This. Women do a lot of this. To study when you're watching people on TV, watch their gestures. I felt Maitripala's biggest strength was his gesture, but he lacked another area. So you can study people on what area is good, what area is weak. Gotabia has a very good posture. When he handshakes, you can see that in his Mahinda has, Now you can study why some leaders are not successful. It's a little thing, but it creates a huge impact. All these gentlemen have. Now this is a very powerful gesture, confidence. She is called Europe's most powerful woman. Nothing to do with her speech, content, all to do with her gestures. Again, few example of gestures. Next is eye contact. Two more. Eye contact is out of 55%, I would say 20% is eye contact. And the more you can build rapport with people with eye contact, the more again trust. Some people when they're talking to people, they look somewhere else.
They're shifty eyed.
So we maintain eye contact. What we do mistake is we look at people's full face. But good leaders look to the eye.
Yes.
Some people look at the pupil of the eye. Deep look. Which communicates different messages.
A lot of people can't stand it.
Yeah. Make sure you don't deep stare. It's done in a subtle manner. You stare a few seconds. Ideally, even in a speech, so this is only looking at one room. So that fellow is like, why are you looking at me? He feels intimidated. So ideally 3 seconds. Deeper you can go, the more powerful it is. Eye contact builds trust. There's a lot of energy. Everything is built on eye contact as a leader. So keep in mind, next time when you are speaking, try to focus on eye contact, focus. Some people, have you noticed, they are not focusing, they are using a lot of head movement, and they don't know it ideally. So as a speaker, keep in mind, eye contact is power. Eye contact creates trust, and it has impact. There's like just the story of Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins was in a small group, 10 people. He charges for a big group, it's $1,000. 10 people in a room, he charges a big amount, like 1 million for 10 days. And he says, I transform you as a brand. There was this fat lady. So she comes and says, Tony, you're talking about personal transformation, I will change your life. But I can't even find a boy. I can't even go on a date. She says, okay, come in front. She's a little in the fat side. So he asks all the audience, how many of you would like to go on a date with her? And I am a then she felt even more embarrassed. She asked, Tony, what are you doing? No, why are you doing this to me? She says, okay, go back to your seat. Okay, come back, he says. He says, but now I want you to show and feel that you're the most sexiest lady in the room. But don't show it to me from your body, show it to me from your eyes. She suddenly, the way she started to look people, every man said, she transformed. She became a different person. How she stood, how she looked, the confidence, the face. She didn't shrink, but the confidence, she changed as a person. That's the power of eye contact. As a leader, work on your eye contact. And finally, it's your emotions which you control. It's a big topic. We do a lot of public speaking classes. We work on transforming as a person, changing you, understanding your emotions, and bringing out the child in you. Because children are the best when it comes to emotion. Thank you.
Excellent. No, I'm not trying to do a marketing for Farill, but genuinely it was super. Thank you.
Much appreciated.
I have something to tell. Now you asked us, what do you want to achieve? And somebody said, I want to be in the airline, work in the airline, or somebody wants to have a own beauty salon or something. For that, you said you must prepare yourself.
Correct.
So, very true, because if you might be doing some other work now.
Yes.
But you might want to change that profession to you do your own business.
Correct.
I want to give a small example for myself.
Sure.
I said I want to be to have a resort. Okay, a long time ago I never could buy land because I'm Chinese. Sri Lanka doesn't allow you to buy land. So I stayed in rented houses. But then when I got the citizenship, first thing I did was I bought land. Then see, now for the resort, I have prepared the land. I have learned, I've gone to hotel school, learned the hotel industry. I have traveled and gone to a lot of hotels and stayed. Okay, and I have built one or two cabanas and tested on a small scale to see the mistakes. Now this is, I am not a professional, but I have done this. I have gone to hotel school. I can cook.
Street smart.
I can cook because I was 4 years as a chef on a ship. Nirmala knows that.
Gayun is the best Chinese cook.
You see, so I have learned these skills. Now, am I a hotelier? No, I'm not. If you ask me, I'm a professional. I studied overseas. I did lots of graduate work, but not a hotelier. So, but you can prepare yourself. So, when I retire, I have the land, large piece of land. I have several buildings already coming up. I have learned the skills to cook.
Got the groundwork.
I got the groundwork. So it's a shifting from this work to be paid and working for somebody. Sure. Now I quietly come and do my own thing, I might make some mistakes, but I have learned over the last 20-30 years. I have tested 2 of my own cabana. I got foreign customers, local customers, mistakes are done. So those tests. So anybody who wants to do something on your own, prepare yourself. It's not such a big project. Even on a small scale, you want to start on a small, prepare yourself so that when you do it, you make less mistakes and you will, from the beginning itself, you'll earn money. Rather than lose money, because you are invested, you said invest on yourself, this is your investment. So that's my take on it.
Very good, very true. And just to add, nowadays, a lot of people, you can't depend on one qualification as well. I know, especially other countries, if you are a good marketer, they're doing another law, doing psychology or doing HR. Just to add the depth, I would say invest on your personality. Because today, what interviewers or companies want people with character, people with personality. So your personality can be away from your core skill. So just keep an open eye on that. It will really have a larger vision on yourself. Ideally, have a purpose. Sometimes your job might not have a direct purpose or a passion. If you don't have it in your job, find it somewhere else. That's how it can be a non-profitable venture, but the energy you can get this energy, you put it to here. That's a nice story. I'll finish it with this story. A doctor in Canada. She was a very successful doctor. Worked 5 years, but while working, she realized she's making money. She was known in the community, but the kick to go to office to find that energy. So she just was trying to figure out how can she derive that energy. And she remembered when she was really young, from 7 to 14 is your key age. Your conscious brain develops. So she remembered at Podikal, she did this tap dancing. And so she said, I think I like to try this out again. So she told her husband, I want to go back to tap dancing, travel to Mexico. Husband said, why do you want to do that? You have a good career. Parents also refused. She said, but I like to try it out. I want to derive more passionate activity. And she took a chance and came to Mexico, spent 6 months, got a qualification, and came back to Canada and became a doctor. And she said, what she enjoyed, so what she did was weekdays, she was into a doctor. Saturday, Sundays, full time tap dance. She says it was like a love. When I'm working, I'm looking forward to the weekend. So that it worked hand in hand. So you might have to find something to balance. But if you're in a passionate activity, much the better. If you're lucky, you're very lucky. You're very fortunate. Or if you have a purpose. I know some people you can have a direct connection. If you're I know some people work in a hotel, or it can be government, to start your own venture or to buy a property, a retirement home within that area. There's a gentleman in, I think, Biyagama, near Katunayaka, is buying a pineapple estate, few away from, so his objective is to somehow make that part of his life, and while enjoying, he's working at Katunayaka in the zone. So find a purpose or a passion, either way. So before wrapping it up, I want to see the energy within. Keep in mind, energy, what wins the game. So, people like Usain Bolt, how do they celebrate when they win a victory? What is his symbol? Action. Action. So can we get all to stand? How does Usain Bolt celebrate his victory? Sometimes before coming to the he does this, and that became a symbol. How does Malinga celebrate? He does something like this, or sometimes he does this. How does Muhammad Ali celebrate? Now, if I win something, I will say, yes, I did it. Have you watched the movie The Pursuit of Happiness?
Yes.
It's a nice movie, how he celebrates at the end, he says that calmness within. I have a friend who celebrates, he's in Qatar, if he closes a big deal, he goes to Starbucks, orders the expensive cappuccino, and he takes a Cuban cigar. So how would you celebrate? In the count of 3, it can be sharing your emotion. You have done it. Can you see how you share your the signature brand? What is your brand? Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes. No energy. Yes. More volume. Let's try. MovenPick, wake up. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure having you all. Thank you.